Welcome to the Village of Webster Board meeting, Thursday, May 14th, 2026. And the first thing on our agenda is the pledge. If you would stand with me, please, and Jerry, would you do that?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. The first thing on our agenda is, I think I'd like to change the order of this, if you don't mind, but I'm going to do that. And I would like to, at this time, make a proclamation. Peter, if you would come up, please. This is the month of May, and in terms of that, this is Historic Preservation Month. And we have a proclamation that I would like to read. Whereas the historic preservation is an effective tool for managing growth and fostering local pride and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. Whereas historic preservation is relevant for the communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. Whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people. And whereas 2026 is being celebrated as All People Are Created Equal, highlighting people who have made contributions toward historic preservation in their communities. Therefore resolved that I, Darrell Byers, Mayor of the Village of Webster, and the Village Board of Trustees do recognize May 2026 as Historic Preservation Month and call upon the people of the Village of Webster to recognize and participate in this special observance. Peter?
Thank you.
I thank you for your contribution, for your work with the Historical Society, and for this proclamation. Things are happening this month, huh?
We are. We have a number of things that have already happened at the museum, and the Historic Preservation Commission is giving a presentation 2 Sundays from now on the history of the trolley and the train in Webster.
Awesome.
And how important it is for transportation and what it did for their village as all those trains and trolleys came through. So it's at the Harmony House. We'll be putting out more social media on it and making sure people get there. So,
Awesome.
all right.
That'll be great.
All right. Thank you so
Look
much.
forward to that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I would like to open the floor to public comment. We'll have that first, and then we will be moving on to our, 5 minutes? Yes. To our public hearing. So, at this time, I would open the floor for public comment. Anyone who would like to address the board may come to the podium, state your name, and what you have to say. Okay, if no one would like to address the board at this particular time for public comment, then I will close this portion of the meeting. And we will move now, as it is 6:36, to our public hearing. And this is on the proposed street dedication of Orchard Street and Panama from Xerox Corporation to the village. So I will open up the public comment portion of the meeting. If anybody would like to address the board, this is in regards to Orchard Street and Panama, which are 2 streets that surround or include, I guess, if I want to put it that way, the west campus of Xerox. And they are being proposed to be dedicated to the village. Yes?
Hi, my name is Kevin Lockhart from 100 Middleburg Park. How long is this public hearing?
We have a 5-minute limit.
When you say street dedication, can you define that more clearly for the public, please?
Currently, it is privately in the Xerox, belonging to Xerox, and that would be then dedicated to the village. It would be on village roads, those 2 segments.
And what prompted this street dedication?
What prompted it? I believe that that would be something that Xerox would need to answer. That would be addressed to them. But in terms of generally, they are looking to sell off some of their property, and it would be in the best interest of the village and in Xerox interest for those 2 roads to become, move into the public domain.
Why would it be in the best interest of the village of Webster if those roads were dedicated to Webster and made public domain?
To the village?
Yeah, from the village's perspective, please.
Well, think of it this way, Kevin. If you owned that portion of Xerox's property in the West Campus, and you were gonna try to sell it to some third party who may want to develop it, wouldn't you want it to be surrounded by public roads and not private roads?
Okay, that's sufficient. So for the public, what prompted the street dedication tonight for this public hearing is the plan to develop the Xerox property north of Orchard, east of Panama, and south of the town rec center. Is that correct? Do you want me to rephrase that into one sentence?
I guess so. You probably need to talk to somebody about Xerox.
Well, Xerox isn't here, right? So we agree Xerox is
There is somebody from
Is there somebody from Xerox? All right, well,
yeah.
can he come up and speak on this matter? All
That
right,
would
but we
be-
have to put him on record and get his name.
That might be better put in terms of the time we have with this is the public comment, so during the public hearing.
Can you restate that? What would be better
We have
during a
not
public
opened
comment?
up the floor to public hearing yet, and it would best be discussed then.
During a public,
Hearing,
not this public hearing, you're saying?
why not this public hearing?
Oh, okay, so we're on the same page. So,
This is
but
not-
are you
this is-
understanding what I'm saying there?
You open up the public hearing.
Yes, this is not the public
Yes.
forum, this is the public
Excuse
hearing.
me, excuse
No,
me.
you're fine, don't worry.
I have looked back instead of forward.
No worries, no
Go
worries.
ahead.
You're fine, don't worry. So, but in terms of the gentleman from Xerox, do you want me to cross-examine him or?
Well, we don't do that.
No,
We
we don't.
don't do that. If he wants to come up and
I'm on
speak, he's
board.
welcome to.
We don't
Okay,
want
But
you to
yeah.
cross-examine
but
anybody.
he's not the spokesperson for Xerox, right?
Not law.
I'm just trying to determine his role in this context, because you stated,
Look,
you referenced him as Xerox.
how about when you're done, we'll see if Mr. Carpin wants to come up and he can explain what his role is at Xerox and then attempt to answer your question. How's that?
At the public hearing?
Right after you're done, yes.
During the public hearing. So his public hearing comment is going to be addressed to me?
No, it's gonna be addressed to everybody.
Okay,
To the public.
so the plan is to develop the land south of the rec center. Xerox needs to diminute the land so that, and we need to dedicate the roads in anticipation to develop the land west of Orchard, west of Phillips, north of Orchard. Are we all following?
Yes.
Okay. There was a proposal for that. And one of the proposals was residential.
No, I mean, there's never been any
there's no-
proposal.
Okay,
submitted
it's
to
the semantics,
to
the
develop
semantics.
the
I
village.
understand the semantics may be confusing. There was a site sketch on the website for BOA, the Brownfield Opportunity Area. Is that better? That I am scrupulating closely. And that relates to 3 alternative site sketches. Are we on the same page so far? Okay, we all agree on this area. It's the little curve south of Town Rec. I don't want to get too redundant on this, but we're all for the public's sake. South of the town rec center, there's a giant Xerox building that's gotta go, right?
As I
It's gotta go.
said, Kevin, that was proposed by 12 individuals, not all village residents. But that was proposed by 12 individuals who got together, brainstormed, and came up, as I said about 2 years ago, with a proposal. It has not come before the village board, it's simply a proposal.
Thank you for that clarity.
So,
So-
let me explain.
Okay, John.
So the town and the village thought it would be a good idea to designate, not only that part of Xerox, but Donovan.
Can you talk into the microphone more closely, Don, please?
You can't hear me?
I want people at home to hear. If we're up to 50, we're a growing village, Don.
Well, okay. So they thought it would be a good idea to have New York State designate that area as a brownfield opportunity area. And all that means is if you get designated as a brownfield opportunity area, that opens up opportunities for grants, for money from the state to develop the property in the future. So as part of that whole application process, to have it designated as a brownfield opportunity area, you have to tell the state what you think the property could be developed as. That is not any kind of proposal, it's nothing set in stone. You can throw it out, it doesn't have to be that way, but so that's why those sketches were included. And that does not mean that's how the property is gonna get developed though. That would come later if Xerox and/or a third party stepped forward and then actually submitted a site plan or a sketch plan.
But
to the
first-
town or the village.
But first, the roads would have to be dedicated to the village.
Well, that would make the property more marketable to a third party.
Yeah.
If there were dedicated roads instead of private roads, then if Xerox no longer owns the land, why would they want to still maintain Orchard Street in Panama?
So we're in the beginning stages of the next phase, which is to develop either a residential street there. At some point, there's a,
No.
but this is what the BOA committee, the steering committee
No,
for
we're not at
BOA.
any end stage of
Outline.
anything. We're actually at the beginning stages still.
I agree with you, we're at the beginning stages. I just want
You said end
to
stage.
be able to articulate, because I believe the gentleman told me that I was misleading people when I was talking about exactly this. I was talking, we're all on the same page. What's misleading about saying that that land, that parcel of land, is going to likely become either a residential street, a mixed-use district, or an apartment complex. We're in the early phases of that.
I think
Your-
It's zoned industrial.
It's only
It's- but
industrial,
it's not
no
going to-
low-income housing's been mentioned,
It's-
so it's
guys.
misleading, Kevin.
Why would it remain zoned industrial? We don't have any industry coming in the village. What,
Doesn't matter, that's what it's
what
zoned.
develop,
It's
but we
commercial.
can, that's not a permanent problem. Mayor, you have an insight on this, please?
Kevin, you're thinking only of such as Xerox, a major industry or industrial. The industrially zoned
Mhm.
includes a lot of things that could go in there,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah,
Not just residential. And you are focusing on the fact, and you are even saying that this is something that we're looking at formally, and we're not. But it is residential, it's not zoned as that. And we're not looking at that property right now as in any way being residential.
let's go back a moment, Mayor, to the BOA steering
We're
committee.
about ready to close. Your
One more point. The BOA committee and the grants, why would they outline 3 alternative?
You can't turn it in without some ideas, that's part
Right.
of turning it.
But
in.
their idea is
Is their
to
idea.
have it rezoned. But this isn't happening in isolation, right? It's
Right,
12 committee members that were specifically
It
selected.
wasn't just the 12 committee members, the person in the committee that was heading this up did lots of public outreach, there's lots of public meetings, there's public outreach. You had boards set up down at the Parks and Rec when there was events going on. People would come up and write things on it, and put post-it notes on it and say, this is what we'd like to see here. I'd like to see an amusement park there. That didn't make it into the drawing, but we could have drawn one there. It doesn't mean it's gonna be an amusement park. It means that there's ideas and there's concepts about what it could be, what would fit there, but as the board is saying, it's zoned industrial right now. There's no plan before the board, nobody's submitted anything saying, we would like to make it this and change it. And no one's going to until it can be marketed. So what we probably want to do is just say, Xerox, and I'll let them speak. They came to the board and said, we'd like to offer these for dedication, these roads for dedication. Presumably because they would like to perhaps market the West Campus. If they're gonna do that, as Don said, that'd be a good first step, because they don't wanna own roads that go to other private property. But it's private property, no board can dictate what happens to it. They can only respond to what somebody brings in and says, we would like to do this here. Would you allow this or won't you allow this? Well, we would if it fits in the zoning, and if it doesn't fit in the zoning, they would probably say no, or have to get a variance, or have to make some other changes. Nothing's happening right now. It's made up. It's an idea. Anybody could have drawn something on there and said, we think this could go in there. They compiled what the community said they would like to see there. In the absence of any zoning laws, in the absence of any other regulations or restrictions on it, say, if you had pie in the sky, if you'd like to put whatever you want in here, what would you like to see? Nobody from the community has yet stepped forward to buy the property, so they really technically don't have a say, right? So when they buy the property, then it could be offered, and then the community has a say, because then there's public hearings and things like that about an actual proposal. These are ideas, concepts, not actual anything.
So the purpose of dedicating the streets.
Okay.
What is the purpose of dedicating the street? You said,
Let's
reiterate
it
the
can kind of prepare, to meet my observation, prepare a property.
I know, you answered it, but it could just clarify again and go full circle so we can wrap it up.
Yeah, so it's not bound by, on two sides by private roads.
Mm-hmm.
If there's road access to it, the person that's offering it for dedication to the village would like to say, we'd like this to be
Okay.
a public road so that
Okay.
it would market better, because they'd be able to market it better, because then it would be accessible by private or public roads on all four sides.
It's obvious to me that this village is in the process of developing this land to either a residential mixed use or a commercial district. We're gonna be expanding the village. It seems, I'm the only person that seems to understand what's going on here, possibly.
Yeah, I
You're the only
So-
one that doesn't understand.
Right.
And you're a very intelligent guy, so I don't wanna knock you, because you are a very intelligent guy.
Okay, well, I think my 5 minutes are up,
Thank
but
you.
I think that you guys don't see the bigger picture here. I think you did not manage to persuade me at all that this is not going to be a commercialized mixed use or residential
And
parcel.
And you do understand, we don't own the land, right?
It's being, this is what I'm trying to get to the bottom to, is that
I-
the diminution of the land and the dedication of the streets is the process of you're doing it in isolation, and you're saying only look at this part, but I'm not looking at just that isolated part, I'm looking at this, what it's going to evolve into next month or next year.
Right.
Probably is, and I see the sketch plans, or the sketch illustrations, and there's the BOA, right? So a lot of it's just happening off to the side. I think we should expect to have it, to see the village developed. And does this have to do with the referendum or no? Is the referendum related to Mitchell Dean? And that's what I really wanted to ask about that's what I should have asked about during the public forum.
The public hearing is only what the public hearing is about, that's all you can really talk about, so. Thank you.
Peter Elder, 59 Dunning Avenue. First of all, I want to thank you because the board has done a great thing. This is a project that's been probably in the last 20 years in the making. If anybody has gone down to Panama or to Orchard Street, you'll note, and it's not Xerox's fault, it's their road, but you'll notice the road has not been taken care of in the subsurface. You've done a great job in getting grants and to fix these roads. The purpose fundamentally of government is infrastructure, and you have stepped up and you have made sure that this Panama and Orchard Street are fixed and they are good for traffic. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that Orchard Street was always vulnerable. So it's a major thoroughfare down the north side of the village to get you from Webster Road to Phillips Road, and you've now made it so that is a public thoroughfare to go through. So again, thank you for doing that. 20 years of work, multiple mayors, multiple boards have worked on that. The other thing is that the village's comprehensive plan contains some little gems in there, like when you do put Orchard Street in there, it would be wonderful to be able to get a park in there between Orchard Street and the trail. That's there, not necessarily gonna happen, but it's also a possibility, and it's a great possibility to have a nice, beautiful northern park sitting there for our residents to use. So I'm not sure about the rest of this. I think that, knowing that it's an industrial zone and residences are not allowed, and that there has to be a significant number of public hearings for that to come through, not even concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is thanking you for the work you're doing to improve the village by dedicating these roads and all the great things that can happen down there because you're doing that. So, again, thanks and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Do you want me to talk?
It's up to you.
I'll say, just so the record shows you were here. Good evening, thank you for having me here, Bill Carpenter, Xerox Corporation, local real estate. So yeah, regarding Panama and Orchard, this is something we've been talking about for numerous years, not just in the last year. This has been going on since 2020, before that, I think, Jake. We've had numerous discussions. You go up and down those roads, you can't tell that they're a private road. They're Xerox roads, but right now, it's probably 95% local members of the community, including myself, using those roads. Dedicating them allows those roads to continue to be used in the public realm. As you said before, Jay, Xerox, we could shut those roads down any minute, and that's something that we could do. Not that we're going to, but if they are private roads. Love to see it go into the community so that they continue to be used for a major thoroughfare through there, so I think it's needed. And then, as I think we all know, Xerox, we are consolidating into the core. We've been doing that for numerous years. So, yes, as to further opportunities around the area to use some of the space that we no longer need, that's kind of what the purpose is. But the main thing is to get those roads into the public realm and continue to use them as such. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to address the board? Then I will close this portion of the meeting. It is now 6:55. And to your concern, Evan, if you would like to set up an appointment, and talk about it more, you're welcome to do that. Okay? All right, at this particular time, then, we will move into regular village business, which, number one, is resolution to approve minutes from the April 23rd meeting. Anyone have a question or comment, or if not, I think that they look to be in order as I've looked them over. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Okay, trustee Lauer,
Aye.
trustee Abolito,
Aye.
trustee Bill Kane is not here, trustee Brent.
Aye. Aye.
And Mayor Byers.
Aye, I approve.
Oh.
All right. Next, we have a resolution to approve the claims and warrants. You have those pages in front of you. I did have this afternoon an opportunity to look them over. I don't have any particular questions from myself, but I was not the one tasked with looking them over. If anybody wants to have clarification, ask.
I looked them over and signed them, and I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, trustee Lauer,
Aye.
trustee Rancy,
Aye.
Mayor Byers.
Aye.
Oh, I went out of order. Trustee Abolito,
Aye.
I'm new at this.
Okay, next we have a resolution to accept the bid from the Blue Heron in the amount of $166,611 for a grit screw conveyor for the wastewater treatment plant, and authorizing the mayor to sign any contract related thereto. It seems as if this was not necessarily included in the bond that we have for the complete renovation of the sewer, but this is something that has come up, and they are looking for approval to spend this money to fix the conveyor. I had a chance to look over it is the grid dewatering screw.
And just real briefly, while you're looking over, this is the influent, comes in from all the collection pipes, comes into the plant, goes through a bar screen, and then it goes through a centrifuge really to remove grit. In fact, removing the grit is so important because it protects all the downstream processes. So you're not pumping grit through other pumps and seals and other processes down the path. So this takes it out and it gets pumped up and it gets dewatered. The water gets sent back to the flow, and the grit goes out and gets disposed of. So, and this is that concentrator. It's where it's like a big tank or a little tank, I guess, that the grit and the water goes into. And then this is an auger that puts the grit, and while it's squeezing it out, it also, or while it's elevating it to throw away, it also dewaters it. So we're not paying for water weight to get thrown away, but we're also making sure that that's out of the flow.
And why wasn't this in the original?
It wasn't the original way back, and then it got, we were looking at the whole list of things, that's one of the items that came out, but we had budgeted for it last year, in this current
Yeah,
budget year. That was one of the things for that line was that and the chlorine analyzer that we had, that grit screw. It's slightly more than, I think his budget numbers before was 150, but the whole line was 180. We haven't got the chlorine analyzer yet, so, we're gonna see.
What's the life expectancy of this?
This one's gonna be a stainless one. It should last longer than the other one was regular steel, so that's one of the reasons why we're looking at changing this out. Obviously, it's in a harsh environment and, pretty rough conditions, but this one should last considerably longer than the steel one, and that was put in, we did their influent building in 2007, I believe.
Okay.
So we've got just about 19 years on it. I believe, 2007 or 2009. If you recall which one it was. I just want to say the influence first and the centrifuge with second, so it had to be the 2007 one.
Very good, thank you.
It's pretty good life expectancy for something that
Yeah. Goes through
takes all of the grit, which is pretty harsh on things.
And it should last longer because of its stainless steel construction.
I'll make your motion.
All right. Jerry makes a motion,
I'll second.
second.
I'll second.
Okay, trustee Alito,
Aye.
trustee Morency,
Aye.
trustee Lauer,
Aye.
Mayor Byers.
Aye. Okay, next we have the resolution to authorize the superintendent of public works to hire a returning seasonal personnel, and the name of this gentleman is Eli Devereaux.
I always call him Deborah Do, but I think it's Deborah is right.
At $17.50 per hour. And how long, Jake, would he be working until?
Through the summer, I would say, exactly sure when he goes back to school, so I would give it to, if we could, the end of September. I'm sure he's going back before then, but, and this is his, I wanna say, third year. At least he's been out in the sewer plant a few times, and he's gonna be up here. It's really nice when we get the guys to return, they know what they're doing, let them train them every summer, and they're getting the plants watered, and
Yeah.
push mowing done, and all sorts of stuff.
So, looking for a motion to authorize the superintendent, Jake, to hire this returning seasonal.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Like Carl, so trustee Alito,
Aye.
trustee Lauer,
Aye.
trustee Morenzi,
Aye.
and Mayor Byers.
Aye. Last year on our regular agenda, we have a resolution to authorize the superintendent of public works to hire James Hyde as a permanent employee in the title of motor equipment operator at $20.74 an hour. Jake, I have a question. Do we now currently have a full complement of what we have had traditionally in terms of the number of employees?
We do, but one of the things on the horizon is, Greenbrier Crossing added a few miles, couple miles of roadways, other roadways we're gonna be adding. We also are adding more, sidewalks, which is, additional work, additional time to clear those, so that was our consideration. We're trying to get James on full-time. He's worked here quite a bit as a seasonal or temporary or part-timer, I guess you would call it. Very, very hard worker, good guy, knows his stuff. I think he'd be a great capture, if you will. It's tough to get people to want to do that kind of work, or this kind of work sometimes, and it's tough to fill positions. And I think we got somebody that knows what they're doing. We are expanding, so there is more work. So I think he'd be a great fit. And it's his increase over what he has now. I think when we talked about it at budget time, I want to say it was maybe $9,000 a year total, when you figure what he's getting at this point. And what the, being hired full-time would cost, so.
Well, I would open it up. I don't know if there's any discussion that the board would like to have regarding the additional employee, because it becomes permanent then in the future.
Well, do we
It's the
pay
first
a
I've heard of it, so.
permanent employee, or do we pay overtime? Get the word out.
Seasonal?
He did it did get brought up during the budget meeting.
Did it?
Yes.
And how did the board feel regarding that?
I think everyone was in support of
Yeah.
what I recall, so I think it's
That was the view of it.
budgeted. Your earlier question, are you adding an additional IT that's outside the budget? The answer is no. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that additional $9,000 is included in the upcoming budget?
Yes.
Correct.
And I, from memory, it was 9 to 11, somewhere in that range, if I recall, because we had it break out here, here's what his hourly rate is, it was like $6,000 more. And then I don't want to put Jeff on the spot, because I don't think he was involved in that discussion. But then there was, I think he's eligible for like health insurance, but he's on his parents', I would believe, I don't want to talk to anybody's private decisions, but he was, if hypothetically, if an employee was still had other coverage somewhere else, they could get a buyout, which is way cheaper than providing the insurance, and that for, I think a single's like $2,000 or something like that, so that's why I think that 9 to 11 number was, I think, because we had that health insurance consideration, that purchase, that buyout in there as well.
Right. So he's not asking to go outside the budgeted allotted FTE. So that's the difference. If he's throwing a whole new position at us right now, we'd be having a different conversation.
Yeah, and it is more than we've had, but one of the things I think I also like to consider, like I said, additional roadways, additional sidewalks, and then we've got a workforce in total, especially in one department in sewer, that all the operators are about the same, close to the same age with the same number of years of service, which is getting us close to that retirement. So we're trying to also build some continuity and a sustainability plan where, you know, one of the guys has been training for 12 years, for movement down there. But there's 3 operators that we have, and so we've got 1, so we wanna try to maybe start looking at, do we free up somebody else, or try to provide some information or some opportunities for training if there's someone that's, you know, has the aptitude for it, that could cross-train to start going down there, that we could start building that next workforce where it's not everybody all the same age too. Because it makes it tough if somebody's gonna retire, you know, if we have 3 guys retiring within a couple of years, there's a lot of institutional knowledge going. So if we can provide that overlap and have people that be a good.
Bench strength and succession planning.
Absolutely.
Do you have someone, is there someone in mind to work additionally part-time to move back and forth with sewer so that they are gaining experience?
I think there's a couple of people that we've discussed it with that would have an interest. And I think part of that is, you know, talking with the sewer department and checking the aptitude, to see, because it's a lot of things more than I think there's more than just being a hard worker, more than just mechanical stuff. There's a lot of chemistry things involved in it, a lot of biology things involved in it, and there's, it's a different, the sewer operator, there's a test to take to become an operator trainee, and then there's tests to take to be able to become an operator. And there's an ABC exam, they call it, and that ABC exam right now, I think, Bill might even know, but it's got, I think, a 75 or 80% failure rate. Which is why there's difficulty finding operators all over the place. So the more we can get somebody involved in that, and this is kind of, I don't wanna say it's directly related to that, but that'd be a good benefit, is that we might have the opportunity then to free somebody up that go down there, maybe even free, hey, this guy up now, somebody else, and see who naturally fits in there a little better than, if one naturally fits in better than another. To make sure we have that, like I said, again, continuity. If everybody retires within a couple of years, there's a lot of institutional knowledge that we'd be losing, so the more overlap we could have and getting people in there, the better, I think.
Okay, well, I've made a note to keep on top of this with you. Make sure that someone in fact is, or several people are going down there to gain this experience.
One-on-one status meetings.
Okay, well, the resolution is in front of the board.
I'll second.
Trustee Alito,
Aye.
trustee Lauer,
Aye.
trustee Morenzi,
Aye.
and Mayor Byers.
Aye.
All right. Jake.
Well, we'll move now to reports. First of all, I guess, Don?
I don't have anything to report, other than, Bill, can I talk to you real quick at the end of the meeting?
Sure, absolutely.
Well, Jake, different hat.
All right, I'm gonna knock the clerk stuff out of the way really fast if I can. There was a discussion, just alert, as you guys probably know, the village isn't required, to maintain or to have disability insurance. We were approached and asked about why we didn't have it, and our answer has always been, well, we don't have to have it. And we provided opportunity for employees to purchase Aflac. I know Heather started looking at it, we have a meeting. Just know, I guess that we're gonna try to share that information, compile that information and get it to you, just to look at and to consider. We don't have enough, we were hoping to have enough to get to you tonight. We don't. I don't think we have it clear enough or anything that you guys naturally have questions about it. I don't feel like I'm confident enough to have be in a position to provide you any good answers to it. So I think once, we're really close to getting the information and then providing it to you, and maybe take a look at it and see what you think. That's what Heather had. I just want to thank the guys and thank the board for allowing us the opportunity to do it. We did our spring cleanup last couple of weeks. Residents just love it. And I think it's really, really nice. It helps keep the village looking nice. Giving people an opportunity to get rid of brush, get rid of lawn clippings, get rid of leaves. You know, you can never get them all, especially oak trees never fall until after the snow. And that's when we stop picking up leaves. So, it's really, and the guys did a great job going around and picking everything up. So I really appreciate it. So it's a good thing, and I'm glad you're allow us to be able to continue that. I said I had the last thing, Heather, but she also had two things on here for the public notifications. Do I do those? Or do you do those, sir?
I'll do them.
Okay, well then I have nothing else.
Jake, one thing I would ask again, maybe for reiteration and clarification, the number to call for potholes on especially on Main Street and on 250, which are two roads that are not covered by the village. Those are state roads, and therefore, who would they call? We can announce that here.
Yes, I appreciate that, because we get a few calls, believe it or not. It is 1-800-POTHOLE, and they are state roads. And this was a terrible, in fairness to the state, this was a terrible year for potholes, a lot of freezing thaw. And really, potholes are just water getting down into the road and freezing and blowing stuff out. You can put temporary Band-Aids on them in the winter, you can get cold patch, put it on there, that just gets pulled back out with the plows. Asphalt plants are, just opened up a short time ago, so they can get around and try to put more permanent patch in them, or permanent patch. It's not really permanent, I guess, if it's a patch, but a better patch.
It's another, a number you can call is your state assemblyman, so when you do call, it helps.
And another.
Use your, officials that you could use to help.
Yep, and just note too, May 1st to November 15th. Or I guess if you look November 16th to April 30th, the state doesn't have to cover costs of your repairs. I was told by someone at the state, still submitted, they could cover them, but they don't have to. May 1st to November 15th, there's if there's damage to your vehicle, there's a small claims section, type in there, state DOT small claims form, there's a form, tells you what to provide, pictures and receipts, and you can get you can be reimbursed for some of the costs if they're, or at least they'll consider it. So that I had one this week that, someone called up about one on West Main Street where you can see the bricks.
Yeah.
They covered the ones up that were near NOCO, but down further to the west, you can see the bricks underneath. And they're bad. They finally got the ones up near the four corners here, but,
Hard road, old road.
not good, I guess.
Okay, Sabres are up 1-0, let's go. Let's get done here.
Anything else, Jake?
Nope.
Nope, okay. Public notification. Number one, there is a serial bond interest payment for bond obtained in 2012. It will be made in the amount of $450 on or about May 14th. And secondly, a short-term principal payment for the sewer project that will be made on May 18th, 2026. Anyone else have anything for the good of the order? If not, then Don will take a motion to adjourn. Jake?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Jake can't make a motion.
You can.
Make a motion.
All in favor? Aye. That was everyone. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Jake,
Yes, sir.
the cemetery. the old
All right.
Yes,